Tag TV and Tag Radio be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. The very paradigm of how work gets done and who's doing the work in today's dynamic global economy has dramatically changed. Beyond the consulting services of the once dominant Big Four firms, more than the capabilities of a global staffing company. What today's and tomorrow's enterprise management requires is a single source that understands and embraces a new paradigm on the bleeding edge of this change that provides clients a unique, flexible model. Greetings, everyone. It's Thursday, October 6, 2011, and this is a special TAG Premier Member Focus Showcase edition of Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mandela. The Tech Talk takes a new perspective on staffing, consulting, finance, accounting, and IT trends as the TAG Premier Member Showcase focuses on the Intersect Group, one of the first companies to embrace what many experts agree is the new paradigm. It combines Big Four consulting services with global staffing capabilities. As Tino Tech talks with Intersect executive Bill Price, a strategic business development executive, Bill has a track record of success in entrepreneurial and large corporate environments. A respected member of the Atlanta community, Bill is widely recognized for building enriched relationships with a myriad of clients, referral sources, and business partners. A former CFO and COO, Bill has over 2 decades of experience with a unique skill set that combines finance, accounting, and technology. Chairman of the board of the Atlanta Leadership Symposium, on the Cobb County Cabinet of the United Way, and Bioscience Executive Committee at the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. The TAG Premier Member Showcase focus is on the how and who will make up the workplace of tomorrow and the leading-edge company that is delivering the new paradigm of tomorrow today. As Tino Tech talks with Intersect Group Company Executive Bill Price.
Bill, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk today. Let's jump right in. I think the listeners, Intersect Group has a great brand, but bring it to life. What is Intersect Group? What do you guys focus on?
Yeah, we've been around since 2006, and we've really got a unique space in the market. One of the things that we've done is we've combined consulting and staffing specifically for IT, finance, and accounting. So really what that does is it enables us to provide resources for our clients in any shape that they'd like to consume them. Sometimes they need thought and leadership in the form of consulting. Other times they need arms and legs in the form of staffing. And then they sometimes need contract to hire or direct hire. So our flexible delivery model is really just gives them the flexibility that might be something that they would need in a market like we're facing today.
And how has, tell me about your background. How does it tie into Intersect Group? How did you land there? Because I think you've been there about a year or so.
Yeah, I've been there for a year. I started watching the Intersect Group, I guess, about 4 years ago, and I was always intrigued because my undergrad is actually in MIS, and then I've got an MBA in finance and accounting. So the intersection of finance and technology is my sweet spot. And so the firm caught my attention, and as I watched it, I talked to a friend of mine, Catherine Dixon, and she would always tell me, that they're doing great. And each time I'd ask, I was like, well, what's the culture like? Fantastic. What are the clients like? Oh, they're doing great. And I didn't know if she was blowing smoke or if that were, if that was actually the case. And then I started seeing Intersect, named as Inc. 500 and one of the fastest growing companies. I did a little more research, and sure enough, they're out there with a unique spot in the market and really hitting on all cylinders. So it's been great to be part of the team.
Well, that's a good segue into talking a little bit about the market. And how have you seen it change over the course of the last well, you've been there a year, but even before that, I know you've been in a similar type of industry. So what's happening in the market? I mean, you have some turbulence. You have people, TAG sees a lot of companies hiring, and there's companies downsizing. Everybody's looking for the ROI. So how do you guys fit into all that? And are you doing well right now in terms of this business growing, or is holding your own the new good?
Yeah, I think we're facing a unique landscape. Most companies we see out there are actually doing well to stay even. So we see a lot of companies, if you're doing well in this market, it's the exception rather than the rule. Intersect is actually up year over year, 63%.
Oh, wow.
And I think the thing that's really driving our success is you've got companies out there, and it's tough for them to make a commitment to increasing headcount, but at the same time, they still need to get the work done. So what's happening is they're going to vendors like us who are out there providing resources on a contract basis, for example, and it gives them the flexibility to really do their project work because the work's not going away. Just how they do the work is starting to change, and that model really is suited well to the solution that we provide.
And you mentioned this flexible delivery model. Of course, most of us probably have heard that term, but what does that actually mean? And Intersect Group sounds like they're perfecting that, if you will. So how do you guys approach these companies with this flexible delivery model?
Yeah, I would say that we are pioneers, and really what we try to do is just listen to the voice of the customer, and we really try to respond to what it is that they need. And again, that theme of, wow, I've still got to get the work done, but I don't have resources to do it. Our approach really, when they go to the street for outside support, what we do is we help them to lower their total cost for using external resources. And the way that we do that is we're the one unique firm that is able to provide the appropriate resource at the appropriate time. So sometimes you need consulting support and you need some thought leadership. Well, we offer that. And then other times you just need people to roll up their sleeves, get in there and do the work. And we offer that as well. And work in general right now, I would say, is very project in nature. Executives want to know, what am I getting? How long is it going to take? What's the investment I need to make? What's the specific return that I can expect? And when am I going to get it? So I think another thing that we're able to do is articulate a case where we can create value for our clients, and that's just been something that's worked in our favor. And
I've heard a lot about contract to perm and a lot more companies looking for contract people. Are you finding that to be the case? And then also, do you see that changing at all over the course of the next year, let's say, or is that the way of doing business nowadays?
I think it could be the way of doing business in the future. We're becoming more and more a free agent nation. And, again, kind of going back to the theme of, companies are trying to, where they can, limit long-term commitments anytime that they're writing checks and spending money. And they're also trying to chunk things up into project-type work. So I think what we're seeing is companies really, they're trying to look at their value chain, and if it's not core to what they're doing, they're really trying to trim back to core. And then they're trying to augment just based on different things where you can really see the low-hanging value. So that bodes well for people out in the market that are basically very competent at what they do. If they can come in as maybe an independent consultant and make a case for, here's the value that I can bring to the table, whether it's finance, accounting, technology, if they have a certain set of skills, the market, really is after that certain set of skills for a specific point in time. And what Intersect does is we almost act as a broker where we can represent, work as a clearinghouse between, the clients out there and their demands for short-term work, and then suppliers of those skills. And a lot of times those skills are very, very hard to find. And through our database and relationships, we really are able to bring the hard-to-find resources to the table when a lot of times other people are not able to do that.
And we just announced a week or so ago, and it was picked up by a number of different media outlets, that there are 5,000 positions open in the metropolitan Atlanta area now in technology, which was overlaid with the announcement that there's 10.4% unemployment. So this says to everyone that these jobs got to be really hard to fill. Are you finding trouble filling the technology jobs? And if so, I understand that they're more in those, some people are calling them blue-collar technology jobs, but I'm told that there's this compression going on, and companies rather looking for one skill set, or looking maybe for 2 or 3 skill sets coming out of the same person. So what do you think is that a challenge, and is there a solution?
Yeah, we actually do see that as a challenge, and we also see it as an opportunity. It's funny that you mentioned some of the work that you're doing. We're actually working with you guys in conjunction with the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce and healthcare IT. So Georgia is now the healthcare IT capital of the nation, and there are 186 HIT companies and counting right here in Georgia, and many of them are hiring. So what we've discovered right now is the demand for talent out there in HIT exceeds the supply of qualified talent. So that's something that we're actually working on with you guys, along with the Metro Atlanta Chamber, to start to bridge this gap. And we've actually pulled together a short-term and a longer-term strategy. On a short-term basis, what we're really trying to do is talk to these 186 healthcare IT companies and get a feel for what is the demand that's out there, what are the positions that these companies need to fill. And we're seeing things like project management, business intelligence, coders a lot of times, and HIT specialists. So we're looking at that as the supply, and then we're going to the demand side and saying, how do we then go fill those? And in some cases, it's communications. These guys don't necessarily, know where to look, and we can help to bridge that gap. But in other cases, when you start thinking long-term, we've got to start to close that gap between how we in the education system prepare our graduates for the jobs that are demanded. So one thing that we're doing, again, not just in healthcare IT, but in some of our other initiatives, is we're really trying to look at, where do we have unmet demand in areas like healthcare IT, also logistics, also manufacturing, and then what can we do to close the gap, But by focusing on those where you've got unmet demand, I think we can really start to make a difference in lowering the unemployment here in Georgia and beyond.
Well, that's great, and Intersect Group and the Metropolitan Atlanta Chamber of Commerce are certainly two great partners in terms of trying to close the gap and also identify what those issues are. So I have time for one more question. We talked a little bit about how Intersect Group differentiates from the competition. And if a company on the other side of it is looking to hire someone, do you have any tips for them? I mean, what sort of things do they need to consider?
Yeah. Typically, what we tell folks is to, before you go shopping the market, really go back and look at, what's the mission of your organization, and what are the capabilities of your organization, and how have you aligned all of your efforts and resources to achieving that purpose. And as you look at your value chain and you then start to figure out, where do I need to hire talent, what specifically does that talent need to bring to the table in order to support the mission, vision, values, goals of the organization? So to kind of answer the question, you need to think about, on a big picture level, what does your company do? How do they create value? And then what is this role going to do specifically in the organization to fulfill the mission, vision, values, goals of the organization that this person is working? So as you get definition around, what are those competencies, you need to think in terms of, there are core competencies that I want all of the employees of my company to share. And for us, we think about things like, character. Does this person have the ability to build deep and trusting relationships? Can they build trust? Are they going to deliver on their promises? But we look at those four fundamentals as something that we would expect of everybody that comes into our organization. And then from there, you go into the job-specific competencies. If you're looking for accounting, what kind of accounting? That can go a lot of different directions. Is it cost? Are you looking at a big company, small company, et cetera? So I think just really getting, the tight match of, here's exactly what I need from this position in order for this person to serve a role in the big picture.
Well, Bill, thank you very much for joining me on Tech Talk today, and congratulations the work you're doing at Intersect Group, and thanks for being a great partner with TAG and also a major participant in how to make Atlanta and the metropolitan Atlanta area and Georgia a better place for technology moving forward. So thanks for joining me on Tech Talk.
Tina, appreciate the opportunity. Great to have a partnership with you guys, and best of luck for your continued success.